Hey guys, happy Friday! I am coming to you live today with a special video that you can do to follow along with these exercises for healthy hips. Now, the moves that we're going to be doing today are great for not only increasing the mobility in your hip joint, but also strengthening the stabilizing muscles in the hips so that we can take some strain off of that joint as well. Now, I'm going to start this and I'm going to show you how to do this in two ways. The first way that we're going to do right now is slowly move through each of these leg moves. So I'm going to show you the exact form for each of them. Now, maybe you'll stay with this slow pattern of the leg moves. If this feels easy for you, then I'm also going to speed this up and show you how you can do this even faster, and maybe even get a bit of a cardio workout in while we're doing this, okay? So hop up wherever you are. You don't need to be wearing workout clothes. Just stand up and join along with me in these leg moves. Let's get started right away. Okay, now the most important thing I want you to do while we're doing these leg moves is keep your low belly pulled in tight. So bring your hand right under your belly button, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, pull your belly back. Squeeze it in as tight as you can, right in the space under the belly button between your hip bones. This is going to help keep our pelvis stable. So we're going to be building mobility in this joint here, but creating stability in the pelvis. Now, the reason why this is so important is because most of us wreak havoc on our backs with the way that we walk and move when we're constantly moving our hips as we walk. So every time the leg moves, the hip's moving too. But we want to train the pelvis to stay still while we move the hips, so then it's supporting the back a little bit better. All right, so belly pulls in. You can bring your hands on your hips for this very first one. As you exhale, you're going to lift one knee up and inhale, place it down, and then switch sides. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Now, feel free to put your hand on a chair or on a railing. You do not need to keep your hands on your hips for this one. You can hold on to something. If you want to do this without holding on to something, this is a great way to help improve your balance, okay? Now, with your hands on your hips, whoop, now see, I'm getting wobbly. I need to improve my balance. Notice I'm trying to keep my hips level. Hey, thanks for the likes. If you like that when I almost fall over. Yeah, we got to have some humor in these. So notice my hips, they're staying the same height rather than lifting or dipping with each leg. We're trying to keep the hips the same height, and we're accomplishing that by keeping the low belly in. So if you're doing these slowly, you want to do about 10 on each leg. All right, now we're going to switch and we're going to do something for the back of the leg. So as we're standing here, we're just going to bring the heel back behind us and we're going to squeeze the glute. Now notice I'm trying not to lean forward as I do this. I'm standing upright, keeping my belly in and just pressing the heel back, feeling that squeeze in the glute muscle. Good, making sure that I'm not arching my tailbone back as I do this. I'm focusing on pressing my tailbone down toward the floor. And again, you're going to feel this in the back of the legs and the back of the hamstrings. So we're creating strength now on the muscles that stabilize the back of the hips. All right, the next move, let's work the outer thighs. Hands on the hips. We're just going to press the feet out to the side. Good. Now, I am trying my best to not do a tick-tock with my upper body. So I'm trying not to sway from side to side. I'm trying to keep a nice tall line from my head down through my tailbone. I'm shifting a little bit, but we're trying. Now, I don't know if you can see my toes, but I'm also trying to keep my toes pointing straight forward rather than turning them out to the side. This will get these outer thigh muscles and help support the hips. All right, my belly is staying in as tight as possible. And now finally, we're going to do something for the inner thighs. All right, so we're going to bring the foot up and touch the hand on either side. Good, so working the inner thighs now, trying to keep the hips and pelvis as stable as possible. Easier said than done, so if you're swaying a little bit, don't worry about it. As you can tell, I am too. But just by trying not to, we're helping to stabilize those muscles. If your foot does not make it all the way up to the hand, don't worry about it. You can just lift it. Try to keep the heel in front of your other leg and turn the knee out to the side so you'll feel those inner thigh muscles. All right, so this is how we move slowly through these leg moves. Now, let's see if we can speed it up and get a bit more cardio as we do this, all right? So let's go back to those very first moves for the hip flexors, for the front of the thighs. So we're just gonna move a little faster. If you're feeling really energetic today, you could even do this as a high knee jog, all right? You could tap your hands with your knees. I like to do it as a march. Pull the belly in. As you exhale, you'll feel a crunch in your belly as you draw your knees up. You could even add some resistance with your hands, so you're having to press your knees into your hands. Going side to side and then starting to feel the breath and the heart rate increase. Just feels good, feels nice and alive. All right, then turning and going a little faster, doing our kicks behind us, squeezing the glutes, trying to keep the pelvis nice and still, trying to keep our posture as tall as possible. As you can see, it's a beautiful day here. Finally, have you had a really long winter? We had the longest winter. It felt like it took forever for spring to come. All right, now the outer thighs, side to side, side to side. Good, again, I'm trying not to sway too much. I can see myself in this camera. I'm definitely swaying a little bit, but I'm trying not to as much as possible. And now these last ones touch the foot. Hey, Chris, I see you're watching on here live. Hope you're doing these with me. Good, so maybe a little faster. Foot, foot, foot. Ooh, I think I hear a deer back there. All right, going as fast as we can, and then you'll start to feel the burn in the inner thighs, believe it or not, just from doing these standing hip moves. All right, guys, you did it. Those were our standing hip moves for today, and you have now stabilized the front of the thighs, the back, the sides, outer thighs, and the inner thighs. When we stabilize these muscles, if you tend to have tight, achy hips, by stabilizing the muscles, believe it or not, that can actually help relieve some of the strain on those muscles. Oftentimes when we feel tight muscles, we think that it's because they're too strong, right? We equate strength with tightness, but often the opposite is true. So if your muscles are weak, they have to tighten up to strain to do the work. Whereas if we strengthen them, they don't have to work as hard, so they can loosen up a little bit more. Now, as always, I'll keep posting more stretches for your hips as well, because we want to focus on strength and stretching, but this is a great one for mobility and stability at the same time. Now, if you want to save this video and follow along anytime, be sure to click the share button at the bottom of the video. It'll save it to your Facebook timeline, and also share it with one of your friends who might like this as well. If you're interested in my Healthy Back program, I have lots more moves for healthy hips, healthy spines, healthy neck, shoulders, low back. You can click on the link in the text section of this video, and I'd love to have you join me on that program as well. All right, I see some comments coming through. Chris says she's watching. Hey, Doris, thanks for the thumbs up. Hey, Linda, hello. Nanette, thanks for the thumbs up. Love it. It's so nice having you guys on here with me today. If you have any questions, post them in the comments and let me know how this feels for you. I would love to hear how you enjoyed this one today. And like I said, feel free to hold on to something for support while you're doing this. You're always welcome to do that. Or you can speed it up and rev it up a little bit. All right, let me know if you have any requests as well. Feel free to post them. Sherry says, hi, Sherry, welcome. Thanks for being on here live. I see you've got a bunch of you. Thanks for all the likes that you've got coming through today too. Always makes me happy to see those. All right, I'm off to enjoy this beautiful day. I hope it is just as beautiful where you are today, and I will see you soon. All right, bye everyone.